Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I was having one of those days this day, so a regular selfie just wasn't going to cut it. It had to be a Snapchat filter, and that's the photo that I'm going to document today. It goes perfectly with this Currently stamp set from Kellie Stamps. I love these kind of stamp sets. You know, I struggle with journaling, and so having these kind of prompts just makes it a little bit easier for me, but I want to use them in a slightly different way today. Now I've got this Amy Tangerine Slice of Life 6x8 paper pad. It's old, it's been in my stash for ages, but I've barely used any of it, so I want to use that today. I did think I was going to go with something a little bit less colourful, the sort of black and white leopard print over there, but in the end I decided, nah, we're going full throttle with the colour, so I'm picking out this really super bright floral. It's very small floral, but it has a whole bunch of colours in it, and it works really nicely with that crazy selfie there. Now I'm going to trim this down so that it has a little even border around all three edges. This is a notebook that I have made myself, so it does have stitching through the middle of it. This is the middle spread of the notebook. And when I made this notebook, I made the mistake, it's not really a mistake, I made the mistake of stitching it with a coloured thread, in this case pink. So it's not, it doesn't sort of disappear into the background there. So I have cut my paper so that it goes right up against the edge of that thread, and that kind of helps to disguise that it's there. Now you've just seen me trim off the edge of my photo because I've got that little border around the outside of my pattern paper, because they make paper pads 8 inches, not 8 1/4. I've just trimmed off the white edge on the right hand side of that photo so that when I butt it up against the edge of the page, there's no white edge there, so it kind of looks like the photo's running off the edge of the page. Now I'm going to do some repeat stamping on the left hand side here, and I decided I'm not just going to stamp it straight into my notebook for a few reasons. This notebook, I'm in the center here, it's a little bit bulky, it's a little bit sort of bumpy. I'm not sure I'm going to get a great impression. Also, I just am worried that if I make a mistake, I would have to do it again anyway on a separate bit of paper. So I'm just cutting out the middleman, and I'm going to do a separate bit of paper to start off with. Now this here is some Post-it tape, or that sort of, you know, it's not really Post-it brand, I don't think. It came in a Studio Calico kit a very long time ago. Any paper would do. It's just to create a little mask, and it's going to be super hard for you to see, but I'm kind of echoing the photo on the right, butts right up against the edge there, and I'm going to do the same thing with this mask. So what I've masked out is just a little portion of this page, and that's where I'm going to do my journaling. So like I said, I'm going to do these kind of prompts a little bit differently. Normally I would stamp the prompt and then write my journaling to sort of coordinate with it. What I'm going to do instead is kind of just create a pattern with these prompt stamps, and then when I fill in my journaling, I will just use those prompts as I sort of free flow my journaling into the space that's created by adding this little mask. So I picked out blue ink. You saw me with my swatch book there, just trying to swatch an ink that was one of the colors in that floral. I had considered maybe doing all of the colors, but this page is going to be sort of overwhelming enough with that big floral portion on the right hand side, so I decided to stick with one color, and I also chose to do the blue because it is sort of cool toned as opposed to the very warm page on the right hand side, so everything's going to coordinate and sort of balance each other out really nicely. Now you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just alternating each of the words, and I'm stamping over top of the masking. So each word I'm going to do more than once. So despite some of those words being kind of partially stamped, you can still read what it is that they're saying. I'm not doing the entire sheet. I'm basically just going to go up in kind of a random sort of rough column, just so that it covers the edges of my masked portion. When I pull that masking off, you'll be able to see a really clear space to add my journaling into. Most of the lines of the stamping are just one single stamp, but the lines that are at the top and the bottom of that masking, I am adding 2 stamps side by side, again, just so you'll get that clear kind of definition of where the masked area was. And then to balance that out, I am doing a couple of lines up this page that do have the 2 words on them as well. Basically, everything's just kind of random looking, rough, but just giving me a clean base for my masking, which you can see here when I peel off that tape. You have this nice square that I can then go and run through my typewriter, and I'm just going to add my journaling. So you can see, even though some of those words are masked off, you can still tell what the words actually are. And as I was doing my typed journaling, I was just using those as a reference point for what I was journaling about. I also decided to type my journaling with the pink ink. I have a typecast typewriter ribbon in my vintage typewriter that has pink and black. So I decided to do pink without adding too much black onto this page to try and keep it all balanced. However, I did just want to add that one little currently stamp underneath, and I did stamp that in black just to give it a bit of differentiation from the rest of the page. And I'm going to keep the embellishment really minimal. I'm just adding a few of these puffy sticker hearts and some sort of coordinating colours. Wanted to pick some of the warmer tones from the right hand side and put that on the left, and then the cool toned blue on the right. And that is my page all done. Don't forget to check out the description box down below if you want a discount code for the Kellie Stamps store. These stamps are available right now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you want to keep watching, there are a couple more videos on screen. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye guys.